What's up, everybody? Jeremy Hritz here from Courage Pays Better Than Fear, and doing a video on the Calendar Club for everyone out there who just wanted to hear about the experience, who wanted to learn all what went on with this challenge, what I was thinking, the mental anguish, the pain, the physical exertion, all those things. Got a lot of questions, so I figured I would put this video together for all of you today to let you know all about the Calendar Club challenge that I completed this past January. So the Calendar Club, for those of you who aren't aware, it was created by Jesse Itzler, and essentially what it is you run the corresponding number of miles to the day of the month. So for me, I selected January. January 1st was 1 mile, the second 2 miles, the third 3 miles, up to January 31st, which was 31 miles. Now, I put a slight twist on this. I added 0.3, so it was the Calendar Club 0.3 in celebration of 2023. So instead of 1 mile, 2 mile, 3 miles, it was 1.3 miles, 2.3 miles, 3.3 miles, 31.3 miles. And it all added up when I was done. I believe I was at 507 miles. And you may ask, why in the world would you want to pursue this? Well, again, a lot of people that I looked up to have done this challenge. Jesse Itzler, author of Living with the SEAL. He had David Goggins come and spend a month with him and train him. My trading coach and mentor, Jeremy Newsom, did this. And it really is something that pushes you beyond your limits to see what you're truly capable of. And I know when I set out to accomplish this goal, I didn't know if I could do it. I'll be completely honest. And I was intimidated. I was scared, but I knew if I could finish it, that the rest of 2023, there was nothing that I couldn't do. And so what I did is I made this very old school looking calendar on this piece of cardboard. You probably saw it on Facebook, and crossing out the days as I completed the mileage. And it was something to hold me accountable for getting the mileage done. And my rules were, I had to complete the mileage on the assigned day. I could run it, walk it, ruck it. Rucking is just you're walking or hiking or running with a weight pack on. I could do the miles in multiple sessions, and I wanted to document the experience. So I did a lot of that on Facebook, and this is part of that whole documentation process here.
What's up, everybody? Week 1 of the Calendar Club officially finished. 7.3 miles today, 30 for the week. And God, I haven't even touched what's ahead of me. I still have 470 miles to go. So this was the easy week. Next week, I think it's 79 miles, and then I get into the brutality of this beast. My main goal was to finish. I don't care how fast. It's just getting it done. This is going to be more mind torture and a mental challenge than anything. And I'm not going to lie, those consecutive days of 20-mile runs, that self-doubt is creeping in. But as long as I have a plan, as long as I'm getting it up at like 3 in the morning, getting it in before wife and kids are up, and after they go to bed, I'll make it happen. But yeah, I feel good. Week 1 done. Let's get after it tomorrow. No days off. 8.3. Week 2 Calendar Club. Let's go.
Was inspired by, again, a lot of my heroes, people that I look up to. And I have run really all my life, but I'm not a natural runner. When I started this challenge, I was 226 pounds, which is a pretty big boy to be out there running. I am not built like a runner. I've run multiple marathons in the past, 13 marathons, several runs that are ultra distances. But this was the most miles that I would ever run in my life. And I think in December I ran 67 miles, which isn't much. So 67 to 500, you're just asking for some pain and anguish. And I definitely got all that plus tax through this challenge. And so as it began, I was really excited about it. 1.3 miles, 2.3 miles, really those first 2 weeks through 14.3, it wasn't terribly difficult. I could get the runs done in one shot. But really that third week, when it was 15.3 through 21.3, which was a total of 128.1 miles, that's when the challenge started, because it's not like I could just run all day and neglect everything else. I'm a husband, I'm a father of 3 children. I have a trading business that I run full time. I do coaching. I have multiple podcasts. So there's so much more that it couldn't just be running all day. So there were a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights. And that third week really tested my ability to manage my time and really fit runs in wherever I could. So there were times when I would take my son and drop him off at karate, and I would go run around in the parking lot until he was done. Or I would set up a makeshift desk on my treadmill, and I would trade on this little makeshift desk as I walked on the treadmill. Whatever I had to do to get miles in, I did it because there were just so many.
What's up, everybody? Day 18 of the running calendar club is finished. Just wrapped up 18.3 miles. Only 3 days left in this week, and I'll have 128.1, 19.3 tomorrow, and then next week is the big badass 177.1, followed by just a little 90.9. And so it's definitely starting to get tougher. The 3 a.m. wake ups are going to kick in here probably Friday, because that's the first 20.3. And you know, a lot of people are asking me, like, why in the world are you doing this? I'm trying to test myself to see what my limits are, to learn where I start to break down and start to struggle, and to work on those areas and fix it, so that when things get difficult, I don't back down. I just keep pushing forward. So 18.3 done. Gonna go hang with the family, play with the kids, and life is good. I appreciate all your support out there. Calendar Club 19.3. Let's go.
And then fast forward to that fourth week, it was 22.3 miles, 23.3 miles, 24.3, 25.3, 26.3, 27.3, and 28.3. I experienced mental torture like I never did before. And really, it all comes down to just feeling lonely, because you're getting up in the morning, you're putting these miles in by yourself. Everybody's asleep. My kids were asleep. I would put them to bed at night, and my wife would be laying down. Typically, we relax and watch TV. I would be down on the treadmill or outside running. And sometimes it was 10 miles, 12 miles, 14 miles. And just knowing, you know, when I'm putting my kids to bed and putting my running shoes back on, I have 14 more miles to go. It's really tests your ability to stick with things. And there were several times that I wanted to quit. Several times when I said to myself, why in the world am I doing this? This is pointless, this is stupid. But thankfully, I kept pushing through. And the 28th and the 29th of January, I really pushed myself hard to where I ran 20 plus miles on both of those days at a fast pace. And when I say fast pace, not 8-minute miles, 7-minute miles, a fast pace for having hundreds and hundreds of miles on my legs. So it was around the upper 9 minutes that I was running the pace for these miles. And I pushed it really hard, and it was a bad idea, because on the 30th, when I had 30.3 miles, my ankle started to swell. I had horrible shin splints. It felt like someone was sticking a knife in my foot. Finished 30.3, moved on to 31.3, and I could really only limp towards the end of that day. And really the last 8.4 miles on the 31st, thankfully my good buddy Edmund was there with me. I had to limp the last 8.4 miles. It's no exaggeration. When I was finished, my ankle was swollen up, and I'm gonna try to show a picture of that to you. But made it happen, got it in, and really the feeling of crossing out the final mileage total was something that I can't explain. I felt such a sense of accomplishment, pride, like I could do anything if I'm truly committed to it. And so some of the lessons or takeaways from this for me, one of the primary things was this whole concept of this is going to end. No matter if it's pain and suffering like it was with this challenge, the mental anguish, the swollen ankle, the pain in my foot and in my leg, I knew that it was going to end. I knew that it was going to be over at some point. And today, you know, a week removed, there's a little twinge of pain in my ankle and my foot, but the pain of not finishing this and quitting would have been way more worse than the pain that I experience in the actual moment. And no matter what it is that we're going through, whether it's a bad time or a good time, it's all going to end. So reminding myself in this challenge that it's going to be over at some point really helped me get through it. I also had to really focus just on the day. And so if it was the January 22nd, I had to focus only on those 22.3 miles, because if I looked ahead at 23.3 or even 28.3, I would become discouraged and overwhelmed because I was looking at this big mountain of miles that I had to run rather than just focusing on that particular day. So that was a big takeaway for me. The other piece too is it was important for me to enlist the support of my family, to talk to my wife about this, to say, hey, I'm about to embark on this journey. It's going to require a lot of my time. I'm going to need your support. And thankfully, I have a truly supportive wife. My kids were on board. And even having the support of Edmund to be there doing those runs with me, having that support group is critical when facing a goal like this. And when it was all done, felt great and something.
All right, here we are. Calendar Club is done.
Done. Oh, let's get some light on.
Oh, there it is. How you feeling?
Like shit.
You look like shit.
Oh man. I've been waiting to do this all month. Here we go. You got this?
I got it.
All right, so I think it's gonna end up like over 508. 31.3.
There you go.
Boom.
Done.
Officially a Calendar Club finisher. It's done, thank God. Thank God.
We'll get into later on how bad or how good it really was.
All done.
All right, buddy.
In.
Time to pop some
Yeah,
champagne.
let's pop some alcohol.
Great, just a dry January. All right, nice work.
Something else that I did is I donated at the end of every week to the World Literacy Foundation, something that's very important to me. It's children's literacy, because reading is a critical skill. Reading is how we learn. And so every week I would donate my mileage in dollars to the World Literacy Foundation. 30.1 the first week, 79.1 the second, 128.1 the third, 177.1 the fourth, and 90.9 the fifth. And so it made this challenge bigger than myself, contributing to a positive cause. So now that it's done, some people have asked me, hey, are you going to do the Calendar Club again? Hell no, I'm not doing it again. Maybe in my 50s. I'm 41 right now. Maybe when I turn 50, I'll get back on the horse, but not anytime soon am I going to do this. I do have a marathon coming up in April where I'm going to try to break my personal record of 3 hours and 31 minutes. I feel like I definitely can do that. I'm going to run my first 50-mile race this coming fall, and really just going to ramp up my runs from there. So again, accomplishing something like this, 500 plus miles in 1 month, just showed me what I'm truly capable of. And what happens is a lot of times we limit ourselves. We don't allow ourselves to think big or dream big. Even if we're not naturally built for something, we can do it. We have to push beyond those limits. We have to have the courage to override that fear and go after our goals and what we want in our lives. Because if we don't, we're always going to be left with that, what if I just would have tried? So what I would tell all of you, whether it's the Calendar Club or if it's trading or whatever your goal is, go for it. Get after it. Try it. Even if you fail, you're going to learn something. You're going to take something positive away from it. And you're going to be a stronger, better person for it. If you have questions about the Calendar Club and what my experiences was like, hit me up in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. For those of you who are about to embark on this challenge, again, life-changing experience for me. So happy that I did it. But I am glad right now that I ain't got to run today. I could just chill. But anyway, thank you so much for checking out this Courage Pays Better Than Fear presentation. Love you all out there, and thank you for your support along the way in helping me run 500 miles in the month of January. Take care, everyone.